Now, as the year ends, let's take a look at Scarlet and Violet's DLC and see how good it was. Obviously, before I get into the video, I just want to state that this video will be in two parts. Obviously, the first part is talking about the DLC and reviewing it. The second part is what I think can happen with Pokemon next. Obviously, we do know that there's an epilogue coming in January, but I did have some speculations on what can happen next. Obviously, those will be at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that if you're interested into hearing what I have to say about that. So, of course, before I get into the video, I just want to state that there are spoilers for Scarlet and Violet, as well with the two DLCs, the Teal Mask and Indigo Disc. So, without further ado, let's get into the review. Starting off at Teal Mask, we of course head to the land of Kitakami. There we of course meet two siblings named Kamen and Kirin. They're basically new best friends for this one. And of course then there's this story with the Pokemon called Ogerpon and the Loyalty. It's a funny misunderstanding, and of course we kind of get to help prove that Ogerpon kind of was falsely blamed for whatever happened with this one. Overall, it's an enjoyable DLC. There's lots of returning Pokemon, although probably the only complaint I have with this one is the fact that since I've already completed the Scarlet and Violet Dex, I had about 100 Pokemon registered in the Kitakami Pokedex, and so that kind of was a little more disappointing because I figured that there would be more returning Pokemon. Overall, pretty good DLC, but the Pokedex could have been better. Moving on to Indigo Disc, we of course are heading to the Blueberry Academy, where we of course have to take on the Elite Four and the champion Kirin. So basically some interesting stuff happened after, well, the Kitakami trip. Basically Kirin is he's having a bit of a struggle in life, I guess. Obviously, there's two parts for the Indigo Disc, and there's of course the Elite Four battles, and of course the Area Zero part. The battles are just, well, battles. They're somewhat tedious, with Drayton's being the most difficult one, and of course the most tedious one. Well, the Area Zero part is basically just finding this one Pokemon in Area Zero. Kirin tries catching it, but it fails, and we have to battle it before we can, of course, capture it. That, of course, concludes the Indigo Disc DLC, but of course there was one more thing, and that was, of course, Perrin side quests. Perrin was introduced in a Teal Mask, and, well, there's two things we can do for her. If we register 150 Pokemon in the Kitakami Dex, we can, of course, help her photograph some Pokemon, and help her try photographing a Ursaluna that is not like other Ursaluna. In Indigo Disc, we can of course meet up with her again, and if we have 200 Pokemon registered in the Pokedex, we can of course encounter some special Pokemon called Paradox Pokemon. Obviously, we encountered these guys in Area Zero, and of course in the main story with Arvin's plotline. And of course, these Pokemon are of course, well, Paradox forms of two of the legendary beasts and Swords of Justice. The legendary beasts you get in Scarlet, while the Swords of Justice you get in Violet. And overall, it's these guys that kind of make complain the Pokedex a bit difficult due to the requirements you have to do to even get them. But of course, once you capture both of them, you can of course, well, show them, well, kind of go back to Perrin, and that really ends her quest. Overall, Indigo Disc is an interesting DLC, quite a bit flawed in the story department, but overall it was a fun experience in Pokemon. As for my main thoughts on DLC, I think that they're an improvement on Scarlet and Violet. They could definitely be better in terms of both storytelling and both quality, as I did have some glitches happen with these DLCs, like a new one specifically where I couldn't move my character and I had to restart an entire battle because I had autosave off. So I hope it does get fixed in future updates. So if you're looking into these DLCs, I would just have reasonable expectations, and of course, be wary about any bugs or glitches. As for what can happen next in Pokemon, well, that's probably going to be interesting. Obviously, the only thing we know about Pokemon now is that there's going to be an epilogue. But I had some speculations. So, obviously, for those who were only here for the review, well, the review's over, and I hope you all have a happy New Year's. For those who want to know what I have to say about what happens next, well, here we go. Of course, also, before I get into this, I just want to state that there's a special, I guess, little ending if you bring that one Pokemon from Area Zero to the Crystal Pool and get a copy. I'm not going to say anything else, but I believe that people should try this because I think that this was actually pretty cool that was in the game. Also, there's also something else I can get in the DLC, a mythical, so have fun looking that up. So, of course, what I think can happen next for Pokemon is somewhat interesting. So, basically, this is a speculation. Nothing's been confirmed yet. I'm not claiming to know anything, and usually I try not to do so much speculation in these videos because I kind of think that some people's imaginations run wild on some of these. So, of course, obviously, I guess speculation one could be, a third or fourth DLC for Scarlet Violet. This is probably unlikely, but never say never. I mean, I doubt this could happen considering this the epilogue, but anything can happen though. So speculation number 2 is, of course, Gen 5 remakes. I seriously doubt this is going to happen so soon after BDSP, but honestly, knowing Nintendo, they kind of tried to be unpredictable sometimes. Speculation number 3 is, of course, sequels. Of course, is going in the same department as a enhanced re-release like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So sequels or an enhanced re-release could possibly happen. No one knows. Personally, I think it would be interesting if we did see a enhanced remake, well, enhanced version or sequels of these games. Personally, I would love to see that because I think the Peltia region and Scarlet Violet were pretty cool. But obviously, we don't know if that would happen. Obviously, the final speculation I, of course, have is, of course, another Legends game. This has been kind of a rumor ever since Legends Arceus came out. The main two I've really just been seeing are like Legends Kyurem or Legends Celebrate or something. But obviously nothing's been confirmed yet. There was also some speculation if Johto could be a region that gets remade next. But obviously, well, we don't know. As I said, this is a speculation. Nothing has been proven yet. So don't believe in anyone who claims to know what's going to happen next in Pokemon because, well, they're kind of full of crap. And all this was just some fun speculation about what could potentially happen next in Pokemon. Obviously, if anything does get announced next year, I will probably go back to this video and kind of see if it was right or not. But other than that, Happy New Year's everyone. I'll of course be back either later today or tomorrow with a new review. So stay tuned for that. And also stay safe today. It might be the New Year's, but there's basically just stay safe and stay responsible. And again, Happy New Year's. Hope you all have a wonderful day.